Hey guys, what's going on? It is your buddy Keith, and I am live again in the control room at Essex Recording Studios, just outside London in Southend-on-Sea, England, baby. We've got one of the coolest Ibanez guitars I've ever had here in the studio to show you today. If you are new to the channel, smash that like button, hit subscribe, come join our little family here on the internet. About 8,000 of us. You've got a whole circle of friends that love to drink some beers and drool over cool, awesome guitars I get from all around the world. This one right here comes from a really good friend of the studio, Paul. Paul up north here in the UK. He finds these, I don't even know where he gets them from, but these like mint, outstanding condition gems, literally a gem in this case, and is kind enough to give me first crack at them. And not only do we have this one in blue sparkle, but we also have one in white, and I'll do another video on that next. So thank you very much, Paul. We are ecstatic about this guitar. So let's chat about what we're looking at, guys. This is an Ibanez Jem7V. Now the gems have lots of different models, lots of different designations. You've got various levels of expense and quality, some made in Korea, some made in Japan. This is a top Mac Daddy model made in the Fujigen Japan factory. It's got all of the most expensive premium features, such as the Tree of Life inlay, the scalloping of the last few frets there, the last four, and also the scalloping of the tremolo recess area. And of course, the coveted monkey grip. Nice. All right, but what else is really special about this guitar? For starters, the finish. This finish is crazy. It pops big time. I just did a video on another guitar, and unfortunately, with studio lighting and modern camera phones, this is on my Samsung S10 5G, you still don't get the perfect color correction. The color on this is actually, it's a little bit more aqua. Here, to me, it looks a little bit, it's blue with a little bit more of a violet hint, but it's got more of a green aqua hint to the blue. Just so you guys know, I'll try and play around with the lighting here, but it's not really showing just quite how awesome this blue sparkle finish is. But you get the idea. It's real blingy. It looks awesome on stage. Cool. So that's really special, and they only made this from 2002 to 2004. Very rare. This is the nicest one I've seen out of all the pictures of others I could find online, Google Images, Reverb, all that stuff. This one, definitely the nicest. You've got your three DiMarzio Evolution pickups, and also kind of unique with this model is a blue Tree of Life inlay pattern on a rosewood fretboard. That, of course, matches the color and motif we've got going on with the rest of the guitar. Interesting factoid about this, I know the guy, well, I don't know him, we weren't best pals, but I know of him, and the guy that invented this monkey grip for Ibanez was a guy down in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Florida area, who to this day, I believe he still lives around there, will do custom guitars and has his signature cutout. And that's his claim to fame. He invented that, and he was the one that, I guess, worked with Ibanez to first do it. You can catch him at the bar drinking some beers, and what he tells you as well is he'll do a belly cut made to measure for your beer gut, which is pretty awesome as well. I can't remember the guy's name for the life of me, but he was a local legend for sure down there in Southwest Florida. The other thing that's super amazing about this particular example is the neck. This neck is like super figured, and the profile is great. A lot of people don't like super flat, super thin Ibanez Super Wizard necks. This one actually has more of a rounded, I guess, I don't know, I'd say beefier profile than some of those super wizards that you might see. So for those who are complaining about, it's too thin, to me, this one is very, very well balanced and is not like ridiculous like some of the ones that came in later years. But yes, still an extremely fast neck, no doubt about that. Matching headstock just looks so nice. You get the fantastic Ibanez Prestige Team J Craft style case. And you even get a little, look at that, little guitar strap that comes pretty good close to matching there. Let's go ahead. I love these Ibanez molded cases. They really do a good job on these. You pay a lot of money for these guitars. You should get an awesome case. So a few of the other things to talk about. Ibanez in general came to me very late in life because I was a 90s kid, and for those who are just coming to discover rock and metal in the middle to late 90s, we saw Ibanez getting associated with Korn and nu metal, and I was not a fan of nu metal. Now, people growing up and learning about rock and being fans in the 80s, of course, would have a different story. But for me, I was not a fan of Korn. I am now, but when they first came out, it was too weird. The hip-hop fusion with metal, I just wasn't digging it. I was into my Metallica, my Pantera, and I was going in that direction. So I was a Jackson guy, and going down more that route, Jackson ESP. So Ibanez came to me much later in life after I moved here to the UK, and once I started getting the studio going. And boy, do I regret not picking them up earlier. And even when I did get into Ibanez, I was never a fan of the Jem body shape. I thought this was weird, this whole thing here, because I discovered this model in my guitar shop, when I was like a 13, 14-year-old kid going into drool over guitars. And I just thought, I was like, what is with this grip? It looks weird. It looks stupid. There's flowers on this guitar. Why is there flowers on this metal guitar? I don't understand it. No thank you. And it's got a pick guard. Why is there a pick guard? I want some like flaming skull airbrush graphic on it. Just how normal young teenagers think. But now, having had them in the flesh, in my hands as a mature adult, I completely get it. First of all, this grip right here, it is awesome to just run and grab a guitar this way. The balance on it, it's perfectly balanced from this angle. So there's no neck dive, there's no body dive. It is perfectly balanced right here. Very easy to go up and down. There's, no effort. I really, really, really like that feature because we're running around grabbing instruments all day here in the studio. Actually, I was going to show you the back. And to be able to just grab one like that, like right off the stand, and, to just go over here and be like, yeah, clunk, grab. Now I want all my guitars to have it. None of them do. It's a bummer. So yes, I like it. And the Tree of Life inlay, yeah, sure, it looks floral, it looks flowery to some, but it's really just about craftsmanship and a bit of artistic design, which, when you're 13 and 14, you don't have a lot of appreciation for that. When you're 35, you do. When you're a teenager, you haven't built anything yet, but go, put a piece of wood together, build a table, put something like this, then you get an appreciation for inlays and all sorts of, advanced woodworking techniques. So yeah, now I love these guitars. And I never saw this finish before, didn't know it existed, probably because they only made it for a couple years, but this one's probably my favorite. They also have some with like some cool fabric bodies. We got a friend of the studio who was in Cradle of Filth. Very cool guitarist. James, who played with Cradle of Filth back around like 2004 during the Nymphetamine years. Got Grammy nominated during that time. He is like the ultimate Ibanez Jem dude. He's got more gems than I think I've seen anybody have. And he's just, he really kind of turned my attention towards them and kind of showed me how awesome they can be. And there's so many variants. So many different ones from the 80s all the way to today. So I highly encourage you to check them out. And another big thing too is the Ibanez Wiki page. It's not Wikipedia, but it's like a Wikipedia just for Ibanez. It is the coolest thing I've seen for guitars. I wish every brand would do it. Ibanez by far has the very best one. There's got to be some super nerds out there that are like very detail oriented, because they chronicle like every little finish, detail, spec. They talk about the guitar that came before, the guitar that came after. You've got to use that. If you don't know about it and you love Ibanez, guys, go there right now. Google Ibanez Wiki and just have a look. Start searching for model numbers. You're going to learn so much about these guitars. So this one, the F, is the Fujigen Factory 03. It's a 2003 with a build number 865. And you can see a little made in Japan. Got your Goto tuners. And this fits, of course, right in line with the 2002 to 2004 build date, right smack dab in the middle. Just going to show you more of this nice light flaming all up and down the neck. You've got the scarf joint that Jackson typically employs on their high-end models. And it's just like a premium piece of wood. I love how they do their neck heel. You've got a nice sloping here, loads of access, as you would expect on a guitar like this that, you know, the master Steve Vai employs to do all sorts of craziness on. So yeah, guys, it's going to go up for sale on reverb.com. Help support the studio. We're going to have it here if you want to shred and record with it. And aside from that, follow us on all the socials at Essex Recording Studios. That's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We'll have the white one up next. And Paul, thanks so much for sending this to us, dude. We love you. We love your guitars. They're awesome. I'll catch everybody soon in the next video coming up after this. Later, dudes.